Hello, folks. Welcome to another episode of the show where, when it comes to Father's Day, we'll tell you what we all want: to be left alone and watch the game in peace. That's what we want. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Dad's Turn to Talk. My name is Derek. I'll be the moderator for this evening. Did you guys like that? We like to just be left alone and watch the game, right? Okay, well, you know what these folks should like? Feel free to like this show. Why don't you? It doesn't cost you anything. Head right down there, click that thumbs up. Right next door is subscribe, extra credit. What do you have to lose besides probably 2 hours of beneficial work you could have been doing? But other than that, so what? In addition to that, we do timestamp our episodes. So if there's a topic that you'd like to just get right to, you can feel free to do so. But we'd really like you to stay along for the ride. I mean, your work can't be that beneficial, right? Stick around for the whole thing. All right. Now, having said that, let me introduce our regular cast of characters here. We're going to start off with a man who still owes me money for putting me through the Wicked 2 trailer last week. I can't express how annoyed I was by that. The one and only Josh. Hello, Josh.
Hi, Mr. Derrico. How are you today?
I am good. How about yourself, sir?
I am doing well, doing great. Have a bunch of end-of-year parties right now for Charlie. So every day is like someone's house, swim party, pizza. I think we're having pizza like 3 days in a row. God help me.
Failed to see the problem.
Yeah, I was about to say, that sounds delightful to me.
Yeah.
It is, but sometimes too much pizza could be an issue.
There's no such thing as too much pizza.
Yeah.
That's a myth. Whoever said that was lying. Okay, just remember that. All right. Now let us move on to our other co-host here, who, if I'm not mistaken, for the grilling that he will most likely be getting himself into this Father's Day, will be the vegan options, maybe some lovely vegetables on that grill. I'm really excited to hear about it. The one and only Bob. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob, how are you?
Doing okay. I just want to thank the both of you for just being there this week. We had a tough week. My sister passed away last week, and it was a long time coming, but it still was tough. To my brother, my father, my brother-in-law, my nephew, all of you, all are in my heart, and prayers are constantly going out to you. My sister Jen, I love you, and know you're in a better place now, no longer suffering. So thank you, the both of you, for being there for me during the week. It was much appreciated.
Hey, here's to your sister. May she rest in peace.
Anytime, man, Bob. All the best, man. Jen,
shut up. I knew her well. Yeah. Gonna miss her.
Good on you. Good on your family. We're here for you, man. Always.
You're always here. We're brothers.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's taking it a little too far, Josh. You didn't have to.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna say that, you are little brother, Josh. So.
No, I'm the oldest out of all of you. So.
Well, that's not. We grew very well, didn't we?
Actually, I am the youngest.
Yeah, that's again.
Eric's the oldest, actually.
I know. My birthday's not that far away. I got to start getting ready for. Oh no, I'm not even going to say how old I'm going to be.
No, don't say it.
21.
Don't say it.
Yep, 21 for the 13th time.
Exactly, 21.
All right. Well, gents, we got a fun show tonight. I'm looking forward to it. What do you say we jump into the stuff here, Bob? If you would. Okay, folks, no turning back now. We're at the 20-yard line. It's the fourth quarter. We got to get into the end zone. This is the last Superman trailer. This is the one we've been talking about, dreaming about, and now we have the final one to get in terms of appetizers before we get to the main course. So let's give it a glance, shall we?
All right, let me know when you guys see it.
All right, yep, here we go.
Got it. All right, here we go.
Superman. The most powerful being on planet Earth. We finally meet. Now, as planned, I'll destroy you.
And of course,
That reporter you always do interviews with.
who raised you as a child?
I'll kill them too.
No matter what you do to me, Luther, your plans won't work.
Wrap it up.
Good luck with that.
Make a move, Big Blue.
Buckle up.
They chose him. Let them die.
Hey! Quit messing around!
I'm not messing around. I'm doing important stuff.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Oh man. All right. It's the last hors d'oeuvres, gentlemen. Okay. Round the room we go. Bob, talk to us.
I didn't like this trailer as much as I liked the first two.
Okay.
There are some things in here that I do like, and then there's a few things that make me a little anxious, because one of the things that I've talked about with you guys off of here, and well, I think we've talked about it on here as well, is James Gunn has a real knack for humor, but there are certain things that I don't want to see in a Superman movie. When I see him punch somebody and teeth come flying out of the guy's mouth, it makes me feel like it's kind of a joke. Or like the scene where Mr. Terrific is like, "Hey, get up! I'm doing important stuff here." You know, I don't really know about that. Makes me think there's going to be a lot more jokes in it than what I was hoping for. At the same time, I like Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. I like his look. He seems to have a real hatred for Superman, which I like. Just the kind of direction they've taken the character, I think is going to be pretty cool. So I just didn't like this trailer as much as the first two. I still liked some of the things that I saw. Also, what's going on with Superman's eyes? I mean, all the red, is that from his heat vision?
Well, I would think so. Yeah.
I mean, but why are we leaving like this scarring on his eyes? I mean, I want to see. I want to know an explanation for it. I'm sure we'll get it in the movie. I'm just saying that initially on this trailer, I just didn't think that this trailer was as strong as the last couple. But again, there are some things here to like. We did get some more look at the fight with the kaiju, so I think that looks kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, I mean, again, not as strong as the last couple trailers, but it didn't change my interest level.
Okay,
put it that way. But it does have me a little bit more wary that this is going to have more jokes than what I would like for a Superman movie.
Cause for pause, as they say.
I mean, we'll see. But just to point out, they said in the trailer to go ahead and get your tickets. I did already buy my tickets, so got my tickets for myself and my two youngest boys and my youngest daughter. So
if we don't go see this and give a 2-hour review afterwards, what were we doing here?
I'm trying to go opening night.
Are you?
Well, I told Lisa wants to go see it. We need to get a babysitter, so we just need to get that in place, and then I can buy the tickets.
Okay, so that's why you have family.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, she's got to reach out to them. So
yeah, like
friends.
now.
Yeah.
I am going to.
So So you don't have to worry about it later.
No. I've already let her know. Let her know.
You let her know, or you already reached out?
No. She's gonna reach out.
Why aren't you doing it?
I mean, we have to just decide on the time and the day and all that. So hopefully we can do July 11th. But I heard Amazon.
Make a unilateral decision. You turn around and say, "Look, babe, one thing that I learned on Dad's Turn to Talk is how to be assertive."
Yeah.
And we are going on this day at this time.
I heard Amazon Prime customers can go earlier.
Yeah, they had like a deal to where they were showing some early screenings, but it was very limited tickets and it was only in select cities.
Got it.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Josh, here's what you do. You call the sitter from 7 to 11 that Friday night. That's all you need to know.
Friday or Thursday night?
If you want to go, I mean, if you really want to like go full throttle with this, you could go Thursday. But if that's the case, it's going to be later. But if you want to go Friday night, 7 to 11, get your tickets now.
Yeah. Exactly.
Go to dinner before.
Yes, exactly. We need it.
So
have a nice little date night.
There we are. All right. So it's not that hard. Okay. Do we need to talk through this again, or are we fine?
Nope,
okay.
We're fine.
Okay. Thank you. Josh, to you about your thoughts, please.
I liked it. I've liked all of them, but I really actually liked this one. And to contrast what Bob said, I actually liked the part with the teeth spitting out because it shows how strong Superman is. Like, you don't mess with Superman.
Dude, how strong you would have taken the guy's head off? It only took a few teeth out.
I know, but come on, we watched Creature Commandos. I mean, that was like brutal.
Yeah, but the idea would be that if Superman went like that, he could like make you concussed.
Right. Right. So, I mean, honestly, I was fine with that. I agree with Bob in terms of Lex Luthor. I think Nicholas Hoult is going to do a great job with the character. Definitely a badass in this movie. And I really like the storyline. Was the one who's playing, oh God, what's his name? The one who was joking around with him.
Oh, Mr. Terrific. Is that who you're talking about?
Was he was in X-Men First Class, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He died early, but he was.
Right. He could adapt to any situation. Yeah. He put his face in the aquarium. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Kevin Bacon, for that. Jeez.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead.
What else? I'm excited. I think this is something that the world needs right now. And I can't wait to see this movie. We've all been waiting for it for a while. And I like how it looks. I think Corn Sweat is going to do a great job as Superman. Kind of a little take on him, I don't know how to describe it. He's serious, but I kind of get what Bob's saying. There is some comedic parts to his character that's a little bit different. So we'll just have to wait and see how he does in the role.
Look, I got to point out that I'm not saying that there can't be some humor in a Superman movie. If you go back to the Richard Donner Superman, there's actually quite a bit of humor in that movie. So, I mean, heck, in that whole series of films, there's a lot of humor.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that you can't have some humor in a Superman movie. I don't know if James Gunn's style of humor is perfect for a Superman movie, which is why we've all said he needs to tone it down a little bit, because I don't want to see Guardians in this movie.
No.
And there's a couple of jokes in there that I'm kind of like, I don't know.
Okay.
But again, I liked the last two trailers better, but I didn't hate this one. Just a couple of things that maybe go, I don't know. Let's wait and see. But again, it didn't change my interest level. And I still think it's going to be a good movie. Still think it's going to make over $1 billion.
Oh,
I agree. Hands down.
Yeah.
The only way this does not make $1 billion is if it's that bad and word of mouth kills it.
True.
If it's just an average movie, I think it still makes $1 billion.
Yeah, I would agree. But if it is that bad, there goes the DCU.
Yeah.
So that's it. Up
Yeah.
in
And then
smoke.
they fall back on the Batman part too.
And I heard they're already talking about a Wonder Woman movie. James Gunn's talking about a Superman sequel, but to quote him, kind of.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot. They have a lot riding on this.
Well, maybe what he's going to do is he's going to have a Superman film that's going to have Batman in it, and Wonder Woman might make an appearance in the movie.
Mhm.
They're going to fight each other.
Oh God, yeah, exactly.
And don't forget the origin story at the beginning of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then that movie's
No,
actually going to be coming out 2050, Josh. So good luck with that.
Oh God.
If it's good, then I'm excited to see the future because I'm curious about Lanterns. I'm curious about Supergirl. So yeah, I really, really hope this is a success because I want a good Superman movie. And I've up until this point where I've had just a couple of reservations from this trailer, I've liked pretty much everything that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see.
Okay. Points well taken. I do share Bob's statement about how I did like the other two trailers better, but I didn't dislike this one at all. As a matter of fact, I give a shout out to the notion of making Lex Luthor be more of a highlight here, because to me, Nicholas Hoult, dang, man, do they nail it with him.
Very impressive.
Yeah, really, really good. Smart casting all around there. I also did like the notion that there's going to be, some interaction with the other Justice League characters that come into it, like the Lantern saying "Make 'em move, Blue." That was kind of fun. I enjoyed that. When it comes to the humor, I do take your points, but here's where you have to walk that line. Superman himself can't really be funny. Everything around him can be funny. He has to be the serious one. Everything around him can kind of be a joke. In addition to that, when he's Clark Kent, that's where he's allowed to be a little bit more funny.
Yeah.
It's those two scenarios where, okay, you want to add the humor? Cool. And that's really what worked in the other Superman movies that we grew up with. It was in those two scenarios. As long as they do that, I'm fine with it. But to Bob's point, there was a little bit of the joking with Superman. So I hope they're going to pull the reins back in on that, as he mentioned. The only other gripe I think I could come up with here is the fact that when did Lois Lane when did she learn how to drive a spaceship?
That's another thing that I was thinking about right now, right before you mentioned it.
Yeah.
About that.
When did that happen? Did they go on a date and Superman drove her in that thing? Like, what is that? No, like come on, what are we doing? So again, that probably is a minute point to the whole film anyway, but we pay attention to the details pretty well here, so that's what I caught, and that kind of made me. But other than that, I think I'm pretty sure I'm going to hope that this version of Lex Luthor stays around. That I can tell you, because I really like what I see.
I agree.
Yeah. But like you guys said, it's not just they got a lot riding on this, Josh. They got everything riding on this.
Oh,
So-
we've talked about this for a year, Derek.
I know.
That everything's riding on it. If this fails, it's done.
But you realize it's not just DC that's riding on this. Marvel's riding on this too.
Yeah. That's
Because like one of the big arguments has been that there's superhero fatigue out there.
Right.
And if there is in fact superhero fatigue, we're going to find out with this movie.
It's
If
true.
people don't go out to see it, then that's because there's superhero fatigue. Then that means Fantastic Four probably is not going to do very well. And unless it again has great word of mouth. And that makes you wonder about Avengers Doomsday. I tend to wonder if Avengers Doomsday got delayed simply because Marvel saw the box office for Thunderbolts. That was a summer Marvel movie, and even though it was good, that it was well received mostly, it still had a bad box office.
Yeah, it's still bad business.
But
So,
Bob, is
so
this
even on one that
superhero
was
fatigue?
positive, what's that?
Is this superhero fatigue or is this bad writing?
No. We've talked about that, but what I'm saying is one of the arguments is that there's superhero fatigue. I think it's bad writing fatigue. I think it's bad writing fatigue for superhero movies that people are upset about.
Yeah,
But the thing is, and I've mentioned this to you before, Josh, is that apathy has set in for a lot of people.
Yes.
And if they're not going to turn out for Superman, then what the heck is going to happen with some of these others?
What will they turn out? Yeah, what will they turn out for?
So that's why I'm saying Marvel has something going on this, riding on this as well. Right. This is going to be a movie that could reinvigorate the superhero genre, or it could just show that, it's run its course for now, and they might need to take a break from putting out as much as they are.
Yeah, true.
I'm just saying there's a lot riding on this, not just DC's future. Even Marvel is riding on this as well.
Yeah.
It's the combination of bad writing and superhero fatigue. It's bad writing with like over saturation. It's those two things combined. That's why the apathy is kicked in.
It is. I still think it's more about the writing. I think if you have a great story.
No, hold on. You can't release 3 streaming TV shows and 2 movies in a year and think that that's not going to.
No, it's a lot. No, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Josh, we can't even get you to watch Daredevil, and that's a good show. No, I'm bringing this up because we knew we were going to watch Daredevil Born Again, and you flat out were like, no, I don't have time or any of that. Now let's take a normie, somebody who's not into this stuff. They're going to be like, do I really want to go watch this TV show and that TV show to do the homework so I can understand this character and that character and whatnot? It's a lot. It's one thing if you're only watching 2 movies from last year that I need to watch to go into this. I can watch 2 hours here, whatever. And really, it's not that much more because some of these television shows are like only 30 to 40-minute episodes that when you add it up, it's really like only 4.5 hours long, 5 hours long, but it feels like it's a lot. And people don't want to take the time to go watch it.
That's all points. So
no, you're right. I'm guilty of it. I believe if I had watched it live each and every week like we've done others, maybe it's, for me, it's like watching the original Daredevil, which I do want to watch, but yet it's like you see how far behind you are. And this might not just be for me. This might be for anyone else that, like you guys said, there are so many episodes. It's not like it's a couple of episodes. You're dealing with 8 to 12 episodes a season?
I think with the Netflix show, I think it was 13 episodes a season. So,
versus, the Daredevil we just watched, we were watching it together. And, it's like if it's something interesting, you want to watch it quick. I don't know why I didn't watch it though years ago when it came out. Makes no sense to me.
I don't know why you didn't watch it after watching the first episode and you said you liked it.
Yeah, I know. And again, I think it's just like
it's perspective. No, it's perspective because you're like, oh God, I got 12 more episodes in this season, and then I got 13 next season, and then instead of just thinking, oh, I could watch 1 episode every night and I'm done in 2 weeks with 1 season.
And you know what? You're right.
It's the perspective. It's like if you look at it that way, oh, I could be done with this in 2 weeks.
Yeah. But I don't think like that because then
you don't. And I kept telling you, if you start now, you could have been ready for Born Again. Right. But I point this out because again, you take somebody who doesn't care about the stuff because you care about it.
I do.
And you're not willing to do it. So how much less willing would somebody who doesn't care about it as much? That's my point.
No, they wouldn't. But
because they'll look at it, even if you take Born Again, Daredevil Born Again, for example, it was how many episodes was it? 9, right?
Yes.
If you add up the whole time frame of those 9 episodes, it probably totals maybe 6.5 hours of watch time,
Right.
maybe 7, because there are a couple of shorter episodes
Right.
and whatnot. That's really not a lot of time.
No,
But
it was
people
easy to
look
watch.
at the episode count and it's like, oh, I don't know if I want to sit down and watch 9 episodes. It's really not that much a lot of time, but it's the perspective of it, and people don't want to go do the homework because it looks like it's a lot, and they don't want to go do it. And I'm not blaming them for that. Not blaming them at all.
No, but it's
You all
just,
blame,
Yeah, Josh, you can blame.
but I wouldn't blame the normie.
Anything else you want to complain about how you haven't been able to watch this show yet, Josh?
He wants
Well,
to
I-
say something, but he's trying not to because he's afraid that he's going to walk into something.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not
Okay,
saying
we'll hit him
anything.
with it anyway.
Stop whining.
It's not on me. Not on
Yes,
me.
it is. It's completely on you. It will always be on you. All right.
That is because we can see it in your eyes. You're like,
I'm not saying it. You guys are right. I should have watched the other ones, but really, did I need to watch the other ones for Daredevil Born Again? No.
you
'Cause
would
I
have
felt
understood
like
it a lot more though.
You-
'Cause there were
a lot of
references.
it would have made a lot more sense.
Yes or no?
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
Anyway,
This is ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. Never mind.
okay. Thank you for your opinion. Anyway, are we done with Superman for the evening? We'll all head there July 11th, shall we?
I think so.
James, Mr. Gunn, please. Let's do right. Come on now. Let's do it. All right. Well, having said that, we will leave that alone for now and let us move on to topic number 2 for this evening. Bob, if you would. Oh, folks. All right. So Bob has had the opportunity to see this film and was very pleased about it. Josh and I have not. But don't worry, this is not spoilers or anything, at least not yet, because I plan on seeing this sooner than later. Josh, we know that's just the
So you have no frame of reference here, Donnie. You're like a child who wanders into the middle of a movie and
Just that's for both of you.
Yeah, that's fair. So, having said that, even though that this did, this was, Bob's going to tell us, just how awesome this is in a minute.
Spoiler free.
Spoiler
Just
free. Spoiler
because
free.
I know you're going to go check it out, Derek. Josh, I know you won't watch it. No. The reason why I say it is because Josh will have to go watch the John Wick movies. And here's the thing. Just like I was talking about a moment ago, it's perspective. Josh is going to look at it and say, I've got to watch 4 movies instead of saying, oh, one of them's only an hour and a half. I can get through this thing real quick.
Josh, I have good news. There's a day coming up on Sunday where you get to do whatever you want.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. So,
all 4 John Wicks.
Okay.
All right.
At least watch the first one.
You really, come on. You got to see the first, man.
Okay.
See with the Continental. You'll get what I mean when you watch that. You're not going to watch
Look at
it.
him.
You're kidding.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Stop texting me in the middle of the show. Enough.
Bullies. That's bullies. God, are you guys bullies?
Not bullies.
All right.
Those are facts.
And help
Facts
yourself.
do not care about your feelings.
I am so sick of your facts. Okay, Bob? I hate that word. Yeah, oh, God rest his soul.
Rest in peace.
Oh, yeah. Jeez.
Our
Gosh, we
favorite
lost a good one.
judge passed away.
Oh, man.
Uh,
That's too bad. Shout out.
I knew you wouldn't mind that one this time, Josh. So
Shut up, Derek. You didn't even know. Come on.
I saw Ghostbusters 2 just like you did.
Oh, God.
Okay. So, anyway, back to the topic at hand. Even though this movie sounds like it was awesome, Bob's going to give us his review spoiler for you in a minute. The problem is that the business for this movie did not reflect as such, unfortunately. So, Bob, wondering if you have the figures for this right now.
yeah,
Just
let
to
me see if
give
I
us
can
a
pull it
glance.
up here real quick.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Just point out that the budget, from my understanding, was like 80 to 90 million.
Okay.
Okay, let me see for sure. Yeah, the budget was 90 million.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's including. Yeah, I don't think that that's including marketing. And the thing is that was more expensive than the first 3 John Wick films. Now, as of right now, it's currently sitting at 55 million worldwide. That's not including today. So, yeah, it's not really a good haul for this film. And that's kind of shocking. Well, maybe not so much, and we'll get into that here in a moment. But it's currently sitting with a 76% from critics over on Rotten Tomatoes, an audience score of 91% when you check the all audience. And just so we can check, what is it sitting at over on critic lists?
Good call.
Let's see. I'm gonna share my screen here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you guys see that?
Yep.
Okay, so right now with 47 votes, it's sitting with a 73%, currently a rad score.
Okay.
I gave it an 80%, so I gave it a most excellent. Scroll down here. Here's somebody most excellent, rad. Somebody here decent, rad, most excellent,
majority very good.
So
yeah.
So what's the issue?
So I mean, there are a few on here. Like if I scroll down here, like this one gave it a 5%, but left no review.
That could be a bot, right?
Somebody just review bombing it. You got some few decents here that brought the score down. This one here gave it a 39%. But if you look, the majority of people are giving it a rad score. So it seems to be pretty well received. So that's why I say it's kind of shocking that the film itself, for those that have seen it, people seem to be enjoying it. I thought this was a great movie. I thought it had good action. I liked Ana de Armas in the lead. I thought her character was a lot of fun. She is quickly becoming one of my favorite actresses. And it's not because I think she's the greatest actress in the world or anything, but I think she nailed the emotional beats of the film and the physicality necessary for this. She's also been in some other roles that she had to be very physical with, like this one. One that comes to mind is No Time to Die. She was in the last James Bond film. So she is quickly becoming one of my favorite actresses. I thought she nailed it in this role. I liked how they respected John Wick. At no point did they tear him down to build her up, but they obviously didn't think that she could carry the film by herself to a mass audience, which is probably why they had John Wick in the film, because I don't really think he's needed in it. I think her character stood on her own. Now, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed seeing him in it, but I didn't think he was really needed for the story. He was just kind of like a fun addition to the movie. Overall, I really enjoyed this one. This was the first movie I've seen this year that I really wanted to go back and see a second time.
Interesting. And I wonder
now
if they'll get this weekend.
What's that?
I wonder if it'll get word of mouth.
We'll see. Part of the problem, though, is you've got How to Train Your Dragon coming out this weekend, which I'm going to see tomorrow. And then you've also got the following week, you've got 28 Years Later. So I'm sure that's going to do pretty well.
Then Jurassic.
Jurassic World a couple of weeks after that.
Yeah.
So, I just don't think this is going to have the legs. And again, it sucks because I really do think this was a fun movie. This is what I wanted out of a John Wick spinoff. In a lot of ways, this is what I wanted the Continental to be. Now, the Continental was fine.
Mhm.
I thought it was enjoyable, but this I thought was better.
Yeah.
This felt more like a John Wick spinoff, and the character herself, she was a good lead. I had no issues with her.
That's
She
good.
fit within the John Wick universe, and she did not feel like a girl boss. And we'll get into some of that in a moment, but just some of my initial impressions of the film. Overall, I liked it. Derek, I think you're going to have a blast with this one.
You know, you made a great point about how this wasn't as good as the Continental, and I think that I honestly,
No. I think it was better than the Continental.
Yeah. I'm sorry. What I meant to say was that it was better than the Continental because honestly, this looked more John Wick.
Yes,
It looked
that's
like
why.
more of a John Wick movie, and that look alone, you would think would really kind of spark some interest. And unfortunately, I don't know what the business was of the other movies, but I know it was popular. They were all pretty popular.
Right.
So
Let me pull those up. Hold on.
yeah, you can pull you pull those up. While you're doing that, the question really becomes, and this gets us into the discussion: why wouldn't something like this do well if it's that good? Even you could even make the case of like Thunderbolts is another example of this, right? Where it was something that was good. Well, it's a little bit different, but the point being, this was a good movie, and it just didn't deliver the business. So
Okay.
the question becomes why.
Okay, so just to even point this out, the first John Wick made $87.7 million globally.
Okay.
John Wick 2 was $171.5 million globally. John Wick Chapter 3, $326.6 million globally. And John Wick Chapter 4, $425.2 million globally. So each one
Each
went
one got
up.
better.
Yeah.
Yes. The franchise as a whole has gone over $1 billion. This was has been a very good franchise for the action movie genre over the last decade. And I think they were hoping to cash in with some of this. I can't help but wonder if this would have been better if this had come out between John Wick chapters 3 and 4, because that's where the film is actually set. I can't help but wonder if maybe it would have been better had they come out then. But there's other things, and we'll get into that in a moment as to why I think that this didn't do as well. And again, I think that sucks because I really did enjoy this one.
Would this have been better off streaming?
I think this is a movie that should be viewed in the theaters. I think this was a fun summer movie that you could go and have a good time with. It fit this franchise. So whether it would have done better on streaming, maybe, but I think that sucks because this is fun. This is really good.
I mean, honestly, I would have liked to have seen a film like Havoc in the theaters too.
Yeah.
Havoc felt like a movie theater movie. And I'm not, busting Netflix chops for that. I think it's great that they came out with it, but you're still like, you were watching it, you're like, no, I should be in a movie. I should be in a movie theater seat eating a bunch of popcorn watching this right now.
Yeah.
So round and round we go here, through the room. What do you guys think went wrong here? Or I mean, what is happening just with, pretty decent movies just not getting the business, and especially one like this that's really good. Josh, you want to start us off?
Well, I think what about people who haven't seen the John Wick movies, like myself, aren't going to go out and see this movie, right?
You don't necessarily have to see the John Wick movies, I think, to appreciate this, but it would be much better if you did. That's true.
I mean, I'm just saying though, like somebody who, I would have gone, maybe I'd go and see this one, but like I'm talking about, like Bob said earlier, the normal people. Like, why are they not? Well, they didn't see John Wick. How many have there been? 4?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they just never saw those. When did the last one come out? Recently, right?
A couple of years ago, I think.
Yeah, 2022.
During COVID? Did any of them come out during COVID?
2023.
Okay.
So it was right after.
Okay, so
Yeah.
honestly, I think that's what it has to do with is, if you haven't seen any of the others, are people going to spend money to go see this one when, Derek just said, well, maybe you don't have to, but do those people realize that? No. They're probably thinking, oh, I missed that. I'm not going to know what's going to happen. I see Keanu Reeves in this movie. I need to have watched the other John Wick movies to understand it. So I'm not going to go do it.
Let me ask you something, Josh, and this is a serious question. I'm not trying to bust your
Yeah.
chops. What I'm asking is, why didn't you go see it? Here's why I'm asking.
Which one? This one?
Yes, because when several weeks ago, a couple months ago, we saw the trailer for this on this show.
Yeah.
You said, I want to see that.
Right.
So what was holding you back?
I mean, honestly, probably. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of movies lately, money and not having that time. Mainly, I'll be honest, mainly money. And then usually I tend to not see, which I probably need to start. I tend to not see movies on my own like you guys do. I'll go with my wife or with other friends. And so I just didn't make the time to see it.
Okay,
But it just last week, so I could go and see it. I could go.
But no. The reason I'm asking again, I'm not trying to bust your chops. I'm trying to get where you're coming from. So, like you say that you don't go see movies that often on your own. Would you go see Superman on your own?
If I had nobody else to see it with, yes.
Okay. If you had nobody else to see it with, you wouldn't go see Ballerina, though. You would go see Superman. You wouldn't go see Ballerina.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to get at. What is preventing you from taking your hard-earned money and saying, I'm going to go see what would be the difference for you? What is the deal breaker for you to go see this?
Because I haven't seen any of the others.
Okay.
Haven't seen any of the others. Why would I go pay money to go see this one when you guys have said, you have to go see the other ones?
No, we never said that. We said you should see the other ones just because they're
cool.
They're cool.
Would that make the most sense, though, if this is part of that universe?
You would think so, but didn't you just say a little while ago when we were talking about Daredevil Born Again that we said you should probably see the other, and you're like, maybe, and tried to defend why that it was okay to go see Born Again without seeing before. I think the difference here, Josh, is I think you're interested in the others. You're not interested in this franchise.
Yeah.
I think that's more what it is.
Yeah, but maybe I do get interested in if one day I start watching them, maybe I will be interested. Like, I know for me, for right now, what I just started, but I haven't finished it, I need to catch up on Stranger Things. I've got to finish this season of Stranger Things because I do want to watch and see how it ends.
Okay, so now here's the question, though, Josh.
Yeah.
See, we're trying to figure out what went wrong. You're coming up with reasons why people who didn't go see the first 4 films, didn't go and see this one.
Right.
Yet we just talked a moment ago that the box office kept going up. So people were watching the others.
Okay.
And they chose not to come out and see this one. Why? That's the question.
It's very simple because Keanu Reeves is not the star of it.
You think that's the reason?
I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. I mean, what else is there? Why aren't there? You're the ones going. Derek's going to go see it.
But he is in it, though.
He is, but he's not the star. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to sound like, oh, that could be an issue. But you're asking me as it's the only thing I can think of. It was a movie where it's not. I don't know. I have no idea why. Because it's summertime, people love going to the movies.
Okay, let me ask a similar question. And again, it's because I'm not busting your chops, Josh. I'm trying.
I'm not saying you are. I'm
trying to get like I'm trying to see if you can kind of get where I'm coming from. You haven't seen Thunderbolts,
correct?
but you are a fan of Marvel.
I am, but you went to see
Okay,
Thunderbolt.
why? Okay, I never said it wasn't that good. I
He
said I
didn't, he
enjoyed
didn't
it.
say that.
I
He
said
said
I
it was
enjoyed it.
He said it was actually very enjoyable.
Did you?
I did.
Okay.
You don't watch and you
You
don't
even
listen.
watched my review.
Oh yeah. So what are you getting at?
Why didn't people go see Marvel? Why didn't they go see Thunderbolts?
Because they're upset with Marvel.
Okay. So where I'm kind of getting at is, do you think people have gotten burned by these films that it appears like they're trying to push an agenda, they're trying to girl boss their way around? Do you think that people were thinking, okay, maybe that's what this is, and I'm not going to go see it? I think the same thing happened with Furiosa, the Mad Max spinoff that had Anya Taylor-Joy as Furiosa.
Yeah,
that was actually a well-received movie. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't see it, but it was a very well-received movie.
Yeah,
and is it possible that people are just like, you know what, I'm tired of getting burned? I even had somebody comment on my review saying, hey, I'll wait for streaming on this. I've just been burnt. I'm tired of seeing these girl boss movies. I'm tired of getting burned by Hollywood.
Yeah. We've talked about
I don't think the problem is that John Wick's not the star. I think the problem is that people are looking at this saying, oh God, here we go again. This is going to be another one. And as a result, I don't think they're even giving this one a shot from the get-go. Because if you look at the returns for the John Wick films, they're going up and up and up and up. And granted, that's the main series. You expect as long as it keeps producing good films, that the box office is going to go up. But you would expect, say, a spinoff to do about half of that. You know, you wouldn't expect it to do the full amount because it is a spinoff. It is going to do less.
Right.
But you would expect it to get at least kind of half of that. And this isn't going to get anywhere close to that. This is going to lose money because of its $90 million budget. Let's say let's lowball it, because I don't think marketing is going to be as big for this one as it is for some of the others films that we're seeing come out. I think marketing cost will probably be about 60, 70 million at most. And again, with the theater cut of that, this thing's probably going to have to do about 250 to 300 million just to break even.
Let me explain something to both of you here. Studios are not reading their audiences, because I agree with you about the girl boss and all of that. I'm going to tell you both here, because I know you don't care. But Bob, Derek, Bob already knows this, Derek. So Andor had a scene at the very end of it where there's, hold on, no, a woman walking through.
You bunch of losers!
Come on, can we have a legitimate talk?
No, Josh, I'm sorry. That didn't need to enter this at all.
No, it did, because it had a meaning to it, but forget it.
Go ahead, Josh. Go ahead. I was actually listening.
No, I don't want to talk about it.
No, I was listening. Go ahead.
No, I'm not talking about it.
Okay, Josh wants to be a baby. That's fine. I'll continue. So anyway, I'll tell you why I think that this didn't really do all that well. Because I don't think it's just one thing. I think it's a couple of different things. I'll start with kind of the surface layer here first, which is, Bob, way to lowball that marketing, because I got to tell you, the first time I ever even heard anything about this or saw a trailer was because of you.
Yeah, I'm convinced that this has got to be lower on the marketing, because I have not seen tons of commercials. I'm not seeing anything. I think they're hoping that just off of the John Wick name alone, that the fans of the franchise will come out and see it.
Well, and then I would walk through the movie theater, and I would see posters for it, and I'm like, what is it? And it didn't really give you didn't really know what it was truly until then again you showed me, and I got really excited when you first showed me. But if that's all the marketing we really got out of all this, then how good was the marketing? Probably not all that great then. So that I think is problem number one. Problem number two. Back to the whole girl boss thing, Bob. That might be right, but I need to say something. That is a stupid reason not to go see this film. That is dumb. Okay? People need to learn how to be adults, okay, and give things a fair shot. And if you can't do that, go ahead.
I was just going to piggyback off of what you just said, because I think every project has its own merit. Like, I get what some of the people are saying, that they're tired of that trend in Hollywood, but then you run across something like this that doesn't really fit that trend. Yeah, it's a female-led action movie, but it doesn't fit that trend.
True. And every project does have its own merit. Point being, you know, if people are also, there's that term out there called fake outrage. I'm not going to say this is fake outrage, but it's certainly unnecessary outrage. You don't need to be upset about this just because you think you get another girl boss. Like, go in and give the thing a chance. And by the way, not all the girl bosses have been bad. We've talked about some extensively here. Ripley from Alien, very, very good. The Bride from Kill Bill, very, very good. Why you're going to just throw all that out the window to not see this, which should be a very good movie, as Bob has already told you? Oh, well, I'm fatigued. No, I've just had enough. Then the problem is you, not the movie. The problem is you as a viewer. That's my opinion with that. Unfortunately, Bob's probably right on this too, where that does factor into it. I don't know how much, but it does factor into it. Point number 3. I think that it is just very, very, very difficult for people to get off their keisters and get to the theater unless it is a big Marvel movie. And by big, I mean a character that people know, not the Thunderbolts, right? Like if they did it, Josh, to your credit, if they did an Incredible Hulk, another one, and I know that Bob doesn't like Mark Ruffalo, so let's just say they get somebody else in there.
Please.
Then people would go and probably go see that.
Yes, because everybody knows who the Incredible Hulk is.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. So there's that. Then, or if it's a big Disney movie like Lilo and Stitch just came out,
right?
If it's something that screams blockbuster like that, that is when. If it's mega stuff like that, that's when people go to the theater. That's what really actually motivates people. They're not gonna. The motivation has to really, really, really kick in for something like this, which isn't as nearly as big as those other franchises are. Unfortunately, I think that's wrong, but at the same time, reality is reality as well. Because I'll ask you this: let's take Josh. Just don't even think about it. What are you more likely to go see, Lilo or Stitch, or this?
Lilo and Stitch.
Right. Okay. So that's and because you have kids, it's totally understandable. That's fine. But that's also my point too, is that even with movies like that, they already also have another leg up because you can bring your kids to them. This is a movie you can bring kids to. That factors into this as well. But point, I don't think it's as easy for people to get motivated as it once was, unless you have a really big blockbuster thing happening, like Superman. And this just wasn't it, which is too bad. Like, if you think what?
Don't you think social media, though, has really hurt? You know, they came up with the term girl boss. And like you started this conversation by saying, I'm tired of this word girl boss. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Everyone needs to give their opinion. If we did not have social media, Bob would just go to a movie and he would come up with his own opinion way before the movie comes out. He tells me on his news feeds what pops up. And then all of a sudden, and he might not even know it, but in your brain, you're like, okay, I know in my brain, I would do the same thing. Oh God, this is going to happen in this movie. I'll go see it. But here we have another girl boss.
Well, okay. Bob is really about to chew into this here, but can I just say, I just say one
No,
thing?
let Derek finish. I'm care
No,
why.
no. I'm just going to try to answer your question, Bob. I'll let you go. I'll let you go in a minute here. But you got to remember, social media does both things. It can either make a movie or break a movie.
Right.
It can do either. It has that power.
Lately,
So-
it's breaking movies.
Well,
more than,
no, I mean the terminology, yes, but we just looked at critic lists and it said awesome, pretty much. Like it did not. I mean, there was one bad review and like 3 decent reviews out of Lord knows how many. So, you would think that something like that would help too. So it is giving it a positive message out there. So I think it does both. To your point. Now, okay, Bob.
I await the word of Vigo.
Still convinced that I can't come up with an opinion without somebody else giving it to me on the internet when he damn well knows that I am the most fair person when it comes to stuff. There are times where I've said, I think that's going to suck, and I've watched it and I was like, you know what? I thought that was excellent. More and more than anybody else, I'm fair when it comes to my own football team. I won't BS you with anything. I won't BS you with my opinions. Good God, man, get that out of your head.
I see it firsthand. I disagree with you.
And
Yeah, there you go again.
see crap.
There you go again.
Yeah.
You can't have a normal.
You stink. You're gonna live.
He
That
cannot
was
have
not-
a normal conversation about this. Why has it
Well,
failed?
stop
Bob?
lying, man.
You're not lying, Bob. You
Yes,
said
you
Derek
are.
and I. You said Derek and I a thing about.
What did I tell you
The
about
Daisy
Superman and
Ridley.
hold on? What did I tell you about
No,
Superman and Lois?
Sorry, no. You specifically sent Derek and I a text a couple weeks ago about Daisy Ridley and saying, "Oh my God, look at that!" If I wish I would go
sent
see
you
Ray
a meme
movie
because it
after
was
that.
funny, Josh.
And it was the same thing somebody else put it verbatim. Verbatim.
But
Yeah.
doesn't that get back to the point though? You can make or break a movie. It doesn't mean that Bob's trying to break everything every time.
Oh my God, I can't believe he just said that.
No, but
You
read-
tagged verbatim. Where do you think I got it from, Josh? From that picture.
He
It
reads.
said on the picture.
He reads.
No, it
Spoilers.
said that on the picture.
I don't even watch trailers half the time, so I can be surprised. So I could go into
You
a movie,
liar.
and it's after that
Charles.
movie's over, then I go and read reviews.
You
No.
watched.
He says that I get all my opinions from somebody else. I tell him, well, fine, stop watching the trailer. Well,
I
no,
watch it
no.
after the movie.
Josh, you watch
Liar.
trailers just like the rest of us.
Well, I watch it with you guys now, but
You
before I
liar. Half the time you watch it before we do.
no, I've been much better
Gosh.
about it.
We did a whole episode about what our favorite trailers were.
Well, yeah, no, I agree with that. But lately, I have focused more on seeing the movie and then reading reviews afterwards.
Liar!
You can say all you want with this bullshit. That's all you guys want to do is joke around. I'm trying to give you guys a legitimate reason what is going on with
Okay.
your movie that
You're-
you haven't seen, and it hasn't worked. Why
Okay.
hasn't it succeeded?
Hold on. You know what? Go back to your Andor point. I'm sorry about before. Go back to your Andor point. Go
The
ahead.
Andor point was simple. At the very end, you see a girl who Andor was with carrying a baby, and my God, the whole internet went ballistic. Oh my God, that's Poe Dameron. Oh, we got to do a movie about her. We got to continue all about her. It's like the studios don't understand. We don't want to see that. Great, you got a movie you got at the very end, her with a baby, and
Well,
everyone went crazy. No,
well-
we want other stuff, but they see her carrying a baby. Oh my God, this baby is so special. No,
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. We're talking about 2 different things now.
Yeah, it's not like at the end of the last John Wick film, everybody was like, "Oh my God, I can't wait to see a John Wick spinoff with Ana de Armas in the role."
Nobody said
Nobody
that.
was saying
No.
that.
why did they do this movie then?
To do something different with the John Wick series. You had 4 John Wicks with Keanu.
So why isn't it doing well?
That's what we're trying to get to the
That's
bottom
what
of
we're
here.
discussing, Josh.
Why is this movie no shit, Bob? Why do you think? Why do you think this movie is not doing well?
I just gave you my 3.
You
So
did.
yeah,
It's not a major movie,
not considered one by people.
right? But again, we're getting on this, and it's only been out a week, right? So we don't know.
Well,
Maybe pick up steam.
Maybe you're right. That's true. It could. If it does that, I mean, if it is getting this level of good reviews, it could.
Like
But
it
I think
doesn't.
it's high. I think it's highly unlikely,
Yeah, I think it's unlikely too.
which is unfortunate. That's rough because we are or are going to be most likely fans of this. And
But
that's
Josh,
bad.
look, back to your point. Does social media influence some of this? Yes, it does. Let me give you an example. Lilo and Stitch. You had people blasting the ending of Lilo and Stitch because they do change it from the original animated film. And you had people going ballistic about it who have not seen the film. And when I saw it, I think they blew it way out of proportion. You see, Josh, I didn't go by what they said. I saw it for myself.
You saw it, yeah, and you were okay with how it ended, right?
Yes, I was okay with it. But did I know that the ending was changed beforehand? Yeah, I did. Because unfortunately, somebody spoiled it for me.
So would you have been okay with the ending if somebody had not spoiled it for you?
I probably would have, because I didn't see anything wrong with it. I didn't think that, like, they were blowing it out of proportion, saying, well, I can't say anything because it'll spoil it for you two. And I know you guys are going to see it at some point. So I don't really want to spoil it. But yeah, there are some changes to the original animated film. And because of that, people were upset. Did you see the original animated film, Josh?
No, I did not.
No, that's right. You said you hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
Okay.
People hold that one pretty near and dear.
Yeah. And like our honorary dad on here, Lily, what are you doing?
You know what he did.
I was joking around.
Again, we go back to your jokes. This is Dad's turn to talk, Josh, not Dad's turn to do what you just did.
Our honorary dad, Lily, was getting into it with several people on Twitter over this, and she and I were talking about it. We both kind of agree on that it was a big nothing burger that people were blowing out of proportion. Like, because I saw it before she did, and I told her, I was like, hey, I think people are blowing this out of proportion. I really enjoyed it. I didn't think it was the greatest. I think the original is still better, but I had no problems with this. I thought it was very enjoyable. And yeah, a couple things. There were a couple things in it I was that I wish they would have casted differently.
Yeah,
But
those were my biggest complaints, and a couple of story choices. But overall, I enjoyed it.
Josh, you may have a point about Keanu not being the major star. That may have factored into it. Like I said, I don't think it's the only thing that factored into this. But when you hear Ballerina, a John Wick's, part of the John Wick series, you immediately expect to see Keanu like that. There is recognition with that. But I don't think it was the only problem here. And Ana de Armas, I mean, obviously she made a name for herself in this, like Bob has mentioned, but she isn't really all that well known. She's still a newbie, and she's been in a ton of stuff I love. By the way, I'm not. That's not a criticism, but she's not well.
She was in Knives Out too, wasn't she?
Yeah, I think she was. That's right.
Yeah, she was in the first one.
Yeah, she's really good. She's just really, really solid with the stuff that she gets.
You'll love that movie, Josh. Ryan Johnson directed it.
Yeah.
How about name recognition, Derek? That's what it's about. Like, for example, like Bob just watched the new Predator show on Hulu. I want to see it. Why? We know the name, Predator. We've grown up with Predator. We want to see.
That's fair. Okay, now, but let me ask you this. If they release another Bourne Identity, would it matter would you still go see it even if Matt Damon wasn't the star? I know my answer in that I would, because I
Okay.
love those movies.
Yeah. I mean, is it a reboot or is it just the next one in the?
Forget all that. Forget all that. They're releasing another Bourne Identity.
Yeah. Yeah, I would
Okay.
see it.
You would?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've seen all of them, and I would. Yeah, I'd be interested in that.
Okay. Bob, how about you?
I would see it.
You would see it. Okay, so we know that we would see it.
Right.
Would it do as big as, I mean, would you be more motivated still to see Lilo and Stitch or that?
It
That's a
depends
good
who's
question.
playing. I mean, it depends who the star is.
What, my point is it big enough to compete with something like Lilo and Stitch?
I don't think it is. Now, personally, I'd rather see a Bourne Identity movie.
Yeah.
But that's because my kids aren't little. You know,
No, I get it.
Yeah, so I'm in a different situation. However, I know that the animal that Lilo and Stitch is, like, I still think that's going to make $1 billion. Like, I was looking at the box office right now. It's sitting at 781 million.
Oh man.
That's
Yeah.
insane. And that's what, 2 weeks out?
Yeah, it's only
2
been
weeks.
2 weeks. So
I mean, that's
I would expect this will be the number 2 movie at the end of the week, because I do think
Probably.
How to Train Your Dragon will be number 1. So
Yeah. That'll knock it off the mountain. But
Yep.
yeah, June's a weird month just in terms of the movies coming out, because it's either real grown-up stuff or kid stuff. It's one of the two.
But Derek
Um,
hit the nail on it. No matter what it is, people are more accustomed to seeing a movie they're familiar with stars they're familiar with.
Well-
And Thunderbolts was not a big, yes, we knew some of the people in there, but no one sits there and is like, oh, I got to go read a Thunderbolts comic. They don't.
Well, they don't
You know?
know them.
Exactly.
They know the Fantastic Four.
Exactly.
all right, but nobody knew who the Guardians were, and they still went out to go see it.
That was word of mouth.
But also, Marvel had already established itself as a dominant force in terms
That's
of
actually a fair point too. They were riding the gravy train there.
Well,
Like,
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that, which then brings the point that if they're already established, why didn't Thunderbolts do well? And that's because
like you said, they've been apathy. They
Yeah,
don't.
apathy.
They're tired of being burned.
that's
why.
not the case with the John Wick franchise. This is a franchise that has been hitting home runs.
Yeah.
Right.
And-
But maybe people haven't, like I said, have not seen it. So they're like, oh, if I haven't seen any
But
of
you're
this,
not.
how
But
can I see
the
it?
people who haven't seen it, yeah, they're not going to go out and see it. But again, we're talking bigger box offices for each one, which means that people who didn't see the first one in theaters, they saw it at home, and more people went out to see the second one. Then
There
people
was-
went out and saw the first two at home that didn't see it that time around, and they all went out to see part 3.
Bob, you make a good point. There was you could tell the hype got bigger and bigger.
That's my point.
Right.
Yeah, it got
With
bigger
each of
and
them.
bigger. The
But this is not
audience
a
got
John Wick
bigger.
movie with Keanu Reeves. This is not a John Wick
But it
movie.
is a part of that. But it is a part of that landscape. And you would think that being under that landscape, that it would have that level of business associated with it.
Okay, let me put it in terms that you hold on. Let me put it in terms that you can understand, Josh. The Force Awakens made $2 billion.
Right.
Rogue One made about half of that.
Yeah.
So it's a spinoff. It's gonna make less from the main series.
Correct.
But it's still made about half
Right.
of what the other made.
Yeah.
And you would expect, if the last John Wick movie and it had increasing returns, you would expect that coming off of a $400 million movie, that this one would have the legs to at least get 150 to 200 million.
Yeah.
You would
it would get the
expect.
shine. It would get
Now,
the shine.
I do think they probably needed to cut the budget down to guarantee them an actual profit on this. Like when you watch the movie, they probably could have cut it down to about 60 million. I think they probably could have made this movie for. But yeah,
That's a considerable difference too.
Yeah.
There's 2 reasons, Bob, this isn't doing well. Number 1, marketing, just like Derek said. not getting out there to enough people, and the term that Derek despises, and I hate to say it, maybe girl boss, and people have been burned. There's
See,
your
and that's what I think that some of it is. I think a lot of people have been burned, and they don't even want to give this one a shot.
Yeah.
Which again is sad, because I think that this stands on its own. Like, one of the things we've talked about in these, we get tired of the lazy writing, that these characters don't have to go through any sort of training or overcoming any obstacles. They're just perfect from the get-go. And,
Right.
and we hate that. That's not the case with this character.
correct.
This character goes through some training. They take into account her weaknesses, and this isn't a spoiler because it's in one of the trailers. They even say in there, you're always going to be weaker.
Yeah.
You have to change the nature of the fight.
Which is actually that's a great way to do it too.
Right.
Yeah.
Because with the character like that, they're already showing the weakness is already on the table.
Yes.
Which is what makes
Now-
you root for her. Right? 'Cause
Now,
now
is
she's
she like a
automatically
Terminator that she gets thrown through tables and all this stuff and she still walks away from it? Of course. But that's established because this is the John Wick franchise.
Yeah.
We've already seen John Wick do this stuff.
That's fair.
I don't think it's
So-
fair to cover this movie when it's only been out a week. Let's see if it gains steam.
Well, okay.
About
We
all
always cover a movie after it's been out a week.
No, I'm just saying in general, though, you guys were having this, long conversation about it and saying what is wrong. Maybe we're wrong about it. Maybe it does pick up steam.
Or it becomes like one of those like kind of cult classic things where it's like you appreciate it after the fact, which
Maybe.
is too bad, because then the train's already left the station, but at least it gets some recognition.
Like Derek, I understand how busy you are. You're incredibly busy, right? We're both busy. Bob is busy. We have different ways, though. Like he has mentioned, his kids are grown up. Our kids are not. Would you have gone? How come, like, say last Friday night, this movie debuted, right? Or Bob saw it Thursday, but for you, you have a night off, right? The kids are asleep. Your wife's put them down.
Night off is a very big stretch of a term.
You put the kids to bed. Your wife's home. If you had really loved this movie, wanted to see it, why didn't you just go check it out late at like 10 o'clock at night to check it out?
Okay, on Fridays there's nothing left of me. That's why. Okay, like I can't. Like I'm done with work. I'm completely just brain shot. There's just, and then not to mention the fact that Kate's like, honey, can we do, like, then there's like laundry to do, and then there's other house chores.
Right.
And,
There's other
and if
stuff.
I'm already tired and I'm doing that, I mean, I
Right.
could probably get out of the house chores. I know I could get out of the house chores.
Now,
but
what if
it's-
Superman? Now, what if would you see Superman on that same Friday night if you could
If-
get tickets?
If I planned enough in advance for it, yes.
Okay.
If I planned enough in advance for it.
See, I get what you're trying to say, Josh, but here's the thing. He was actually going to see it last night.
Yeah,
He
it
was going to
Sure.
go later in the evening to go see it.
Right.
Yeah.
But why not see it the first weekend out if you're such a John Wick fan?
Well, he just said that when it comes to the weekends, he's got stuff going on.
Right. It's
So
very
his
hard
best
to-
time for him, the best time for him to see it is at the beginning of the week. It's easier for him to go see it. Half the time he's told us that he's gone to see movies, those are when he's gone.
Plus, Money in the Bank was this weekend. What do you expect me to do? I mean, come on.
All right.
That's
That's funny.
was
No,
good.
I just think it's interesting because I think if it was a major movie like Superman, I think you would be out in that theater that opening night or the next night, no matter how.
I think also too that if we were living pre-COVID, this would be a very different story. I
Yeah, but
do
COVID's
believe that.
over now, though. Like COVID, people are
No,
seeing
no,
it.
no. But the theater experience was different before COVID. It just was. People went. They did. And it's just not as much of a priority now as it was back then.
That's
No,
true.
but yeah.
I think there's more competing for your attention now because
Yep.
there's so much available on streaming that it's like, I would just stay in and watch Netflix.
Yeah. Netflix has a big advantage now that they can do both movies and shows. They got both now. They can keep you binging. So, I mean, and Bob, to your point, Netflix is the only one that's actually bringing in the pure profit right now. So they're probably looking to bring whatever A game they can, and it looks like they're doing a pretty good job of it. But still, I mean, that also contributes to, like the point I mentioned before. If you show me Ghost Rider from Marvel, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go see that.
Right.
If you show me Superman, I'm going to go get up and see that.
Right.
Show me the Batman, same thing.
What about Ballerina?
That's what I'm saying though. If it's us, that's one thing. If a regular person other than who I'm talking about sees that and you give them those three options, Ballerina's off the list. It just is. So that gets back to my point. People need the major blockbuster based off of those categories that I mentioned to actually get up and get to the theater now. And that's also sad too, because it shouldn't have to be that way.
The only way Ballerina succeeds is word of mouth. Something Bob constantly says is if it picks up steam after the first week and it's word of mouth. That's the only way for that, because why? Not a lot of people know about it. They know Superman. They know Fantastic Four. They know Jurassic, what's it called? Reborn?
Mm-hmm.
Rebirth.
Rebirth. They know those.
Yeah. And that's really what theaters have come down to now, too, is that they are for the blockbuster. They are for the screen. There used to be a time when you could actually go see like a movie that was really well written, but it wasn't like a big blockbuster. And those were fun times, too. There's a bunch of those I could think of as well. But
also, John Wick, it is a very niche audience. I mean, we're talking about these are ultra violent movies that people that like those types of movies are wanting to go see. This is not going to be one that you're going to take your grandma to go see, or you're going to take your little kid to go see. Although I did see somebody with their kid at Ballerina.
That's a good dad. Now, so that's a good point too, is that these films are ultra violent, and some people just aren't into that, which I can understand that. So,
but I got to tell you guys something real quick today, and I'm sure Bob already knows this. They had test screenings for Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah,
and people are saying it looks awesome.
Great.
I'm excited for that and want to go see it in the theater. The first one.
Gosh, you shouldn't be reading that stuff, because now it's formed your opinion, and you should just be watching it on your own. See, now you already have it in your mind that it's going to be good, and you're not even going to watch it on your own. You're going to automatically like it, no matter how it actually is, because your opinion has been formed.
I'm contradicting myself. You're absolutely
yes, you are. Right. You contradict yourself all the time, but you put yourself in my shoes, and you think that I'm like you.
Anyway. Like Bob just said.
Crap, mega crap.
God. It's a niche audience for what it is. And it is what it is. I think honestly, if you came back and asked what are the 3 reasons, marketing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not as big as a summer blockbuster as we talk about, and a niche audience. Those are the 3 things. And I still think give it a couple weeks and let's see what happens. But
all right.
I think that's what this whole conversation, why it did not succeed. I think.
I'm sorry. I was going to ask Bob a question. Go ahead.
I'm done.
All right. I was just going to ask, did Lily see this, Bob?
I don't know if she saw it or not.
Okay.
Last I talked to her was before I saw it. So.
All right. Well, then, never mind. Well, I think we've gotten to a lot of the reasons as to why this just wasn't as much of a home run as we would have liked it to have been. But people should still go see it. I am still going to go see it. Josh, Father's Day. Binge watch all the John Wicks, then go see it as your final act.
Fine.
Father's Day.
Fine.
Yeah, he's saying fine, and he's not going to even give it a shot.
My God, why did you guys even? I love it. I say okay. No, he's not going.
Because we know you, Josh. We know you're not going to do it.
So why are you guys talking to me about it then? Why are you saying to go do it?
Because we want you to see it.
so I'll see it.
We're trying to do you a favor as friends.
Derek, I said yes.
Shut up!
I give up. I just,
Oh.
oh my God. It's like you can't win. It's
Nope.
like you really cannot win with you two. Like one person says one thing, I say okay. But I was like, no, you're not. It's like
Because you're not. We know you're not.
what? Why are we even having this conversation? How do you know?
Because it was an interesting conversation to have. That was good
I know,
talk.
but how do you know I won't go start watching John Wick? I started watching Reacher.
3 months ago.
Who cares? I still put it on. I still watch the first episode.
And then he said, "Oh, I can't wait to go watch episode 2." And
Episode
3
2,
months
I'm watching
later,
it.
he still hasn't picked
No.
it back up.
I started watching episode 2 the other night.
You liar.
No, I'm not.
Yes,
I'm
you
not.
are. Yes, you are.
I am not a liar. I saw Kristen Crook on the show.
Shut up!
I give up. I'm done. I'm done. You know what? I'm done. I'm not opening
Have a
this back
seat.
up. I am done. Both of you.
You're only saying that because you knew she was in season 1.
No, I did not. I seriously was watching it.
Oh,
Wait,
My
who was
God.
that?
Nobody. Don't worry about it. You're not
she's the
gonna
one who
watch
played
Reacher.
Lana Lang in Smallville.
Yeah, and Bobby's shocked that I knew that she was in it because he thought
You
I
knew because I told you.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Oh, I give up. Oh my God.
Back when I saw Reacher, I told you, "Hey, Kristen Kirk's in this."
By the
Can we
way,
get
the
on to the last subject of the night?
guy who was Lex Luthor in Smallville has a podcast that's very good, by the way.
Yes, Mark.
Yeah, Michael Rosenbaum. Yeah.
Michael
Yeah,
Rosenbaum.
he has a very good one. In case anybody's interested.
Yeah, Tom Mullings on it sometimes.
Yes,
All
we're
right.
aware.
Shut up. You know what? Both of you, shut up. I've had it with the two of you. This is so ridiculous. This is insane. You guys are nothing but bullies. You're bullies, and I want everybody out there in land to know that you should not get bullied by your buddies. Okay? These two are bullies. Okay?
Josh, we love you, man. We love you.
Yeah, I love you too.
We
I
keep
hate you
telling you to
both.
watch this stuff because we know you'll like it. That's
I don't want to watch it. You've made me now not want to watch anything.
You were gonna
Oh,
watch
now
it.
you're gonna
anyway,
do it
so-
out of spite. Come on.
Yeah, Spike Store.
You're only
Out of spite.
gonna deny
I'm
yourself.
sorry, Derek. You could have watched the finale of Curb. I've asked you to watch it. You won't watch. So why should I watch what you want me to watch? I've asked you to watch it. You don't watch it. So why should I watch it? Watch what you want me
Because-
to watch. No.
No, Josh. You want me to watch it because you want me to watch it. We're trying to help you. Okay.
What are you trying to help? Still
It's
helping.
good stuff that you could enjoy.
Great. Okay. Can we
Like,
go
like
to the final-
Josh, well, hold on, real quick. Just real quick. You have said this, and you've said multiple times. You and I have very similar tastes.
We do.
So
But
if
you can
I'm
watch it
telling
a lot
you,
better than I can.
hold on.
I can't
If
watch
I'm
it.
telling you that I think you should watch this, and you know we have very similar tastes, it's because I really think you're going to enjoy it. It's
hear
not
you.
because I'm trying to give you a hard time.
Oh, of course you're giving. Hold on a second. You're giving me a hard time. Cut the bull. You're giving.
No,
me
I
a
said
hard
I'm not
It's
trying to
taken
give you a hard time.
15 years to watch one show.
Because do you know, I know you, Bob. I've known you for 30 years, 35 years. You know what I'll do? I'll go and watch those. And do you know what you'll say? You won't say, oh my God, I'm so glad you watched it. What'd you think? You'll say, it's about time.
Yes, I would.
Exactly. So, exactly.
But then I would also say after I said that, I'd be like, so what'd you think? And you know I would. So don't sit there and act like that I wouldn't.
This is like the craziest podcast tonight.
Yes, we're having a good time.
Yes.
Oh my
All right,
God.
so I think
All right.
now that we've talked this one pretty well. That was good conversation.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, all the philosophy of that is great. So let's move on to the final topic of the evening. Bob, if you would please. Oh, that was good stuff. All right, folks, coming up. What?
No, there's one he added on there that I did not add, and now I'm like trying to decide if I should put him in over someone else.
Well, all right. You got about 30 seconds until we get there, so you better update your list now.
No, I'm going to. Okay. That's fine.
Folks, we are taping this episode on a Wednesday eve, and the upcoming Sunday is Father's Day. As my dad used to put it, great, Derek, you get a day. Who are we kidding? You get a half day. And I said, Dad, you're not doing it right. But that's what we're looking to celebrate here, because what would Dad's Turn to Talk be without celebrating all the great TV dads that we have had throughout the years? That's how we're going to celebrate Father's Day. Ring in the barbecue with some great dads that we've had over the years, which I cannot wait to get to. A great list that I believe it was Bob with the idea here. Salute to you, sir, being the dad you are. Salute to you, Josh, being the dad that you are. Let us get on with the list. This is going to be fun. Okay, 2 honorable mentions, and then we go, the list galore. That sound good?
Yeah, I think what we do this time is we'll do the honorable mentions, and then when we get back to you for our actual list, instead of just going one at a time like we do, let's just give all 5.
Yeah, sure. No problem. All right. Honorable mentions. Josh, since you're so upset, let's start with you.
I'm
okay.
pissed.
I'm giving you the floor. All right.
Thank you, Dad. Good God.
Yeah, son.
So I am now going to have to take one of my top 5 and put it down into my honorable mentions, because I already know who I'm replacing it. So I've got 3 honorable mentions now. One of them, Carl Winslow from Family Matters. I always thought he was a great character on that show, and the way he treated his kids. One of the episodes I still remember, because I see it on TikTok, is when the white cops arrested his son, and he came in and he gave this speech, and he said, did you arrest him because he did something wrong, or did you arrest him because he was black? And you just felt that emotion. And, of course, the way he dealt with Steve Urkel, and I just thought he did an amazing job. I'm naming all my
honorable mentions.
Okay.
Just honorable mentions.
The other one I always loved was Tom Bosley as Mr. Cunningham from Happy Days. I thought he was a great father figure.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock.
I was waiting for that.
And the way he had the chemistry with Fonzie and with Richie, I really thought he did a great job. And then and the fact that I did it so seriously, Bob, I was like, yeah.
I know you were trying to keep a straight face, and Bob was like, no, this is not going to be let go of.
I really love that song.
And the other one,
not the song.
I know.
All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And then the other one was Phil Dunphy from Modern Family, because he reminds me of me. A realtor, having a good time, kind of like wants to make his kids happy and jokes around with them. And he just one of the best scenes is he's in Claire was in the hospital and they're leaving, and all the beautiful women come out. Phil, are you leaving? And he's like, oh yeah. And like he was trying to hide it from his wife. And like, she's like, you are in so much trouble. Like he was doing his magic, and I just always liked him on the show. He made me laugh. Yeah, just the stuff he did. So those are my 3 honorable mentions.
All right, fair enough. Bob, to you, sir.
All right. Honorable mentions. Homer Simpson.
Yes, of course.
How could you not like Homer? He is he's a dunce. He's always done something stupid, but at the end of the day, he loves his family. And he works at a nuclear power plant in order to provide for his family. You talk about working a terrible job. He works for the worst man that you could on the planet. But, at the end of the day, he loves his family, even though he chokes Bart all the time. But He does love his family. And so Homer Simpson.
To be fair, Bart, now that I'm looking at this through Dad's eyes, Bart earns every bit of that.
Yes, he does. That's what makes it funny, because Homer is the audience who wants to choke their kids.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
I don't like that that's so loud.
Oh, man.
That's the difference. It's like you want to choke them because they say something dumb or they do something dumb, but you know you can't do that. Homer does it.
Yeah, that's true. That's funny.
In fact, I remember this one episode where he was choking Bart, and somebody tried to stop him. He's like, "Oh, don't worry, he likes it."
I don't know why this has nothing to do with it, but the other day I was talking with Derek on video, and his son walked by and did a little thing we did. And Derek looks at his son and goes, "Don't talk to him."
Yeah, I seriously did that.
One other episode was that I remember is, I remember Bart got like one of those Big Brothers, like with those Big Brother programs that they had, and he was bad mouthing his dad. He's a drunk, he's this, he's that. He's a deadbeat, and Homer gets upset, and so he goes and gets a little brother, and they end up having this moment where they meet up like at this amusement park or something like that. And the big brother for Bart walks up and he's like, "Hey, who's this?" And he's like, "Oh, that's my dad." And then he looks and he's like, "You mean the drunken, deadbeat, unemployed guy?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's me."
Oh man, The Simpsons still does it, man.
Yeah, it was great. So Homer Simpson. Next one, Stephen Keaton from Family Ties.
Oh, that was
yes.
Not bad.
So the reason I put him on this list, he and his wife were hippies, liberals, far left wing, and they raised their kids to have their own opinions. They didn't raise their kids, you have to believe the way that we do or think the way that we do. And they don't agree with a lot of their kids' decisions and directions that they go, but they respect them for that. And they allow them to be themselves and form their own opinions on things. And yet at the same time, still giving out wisdom. And a good example is, like I said, they are, left as far left wing as they come, and Michael J. Fox, his character Alex Keaton, he was a Reagan conservative.
Yep.
And so the fact that they were cool with that, they all respected each other, they respected opinions. That's something that would be good for nowadays people to really kind of get back to respecting each other's differences and opinions. And you can still impart some wisdom onto people with that, So I just like the way he raised his kids. So Stephen Keaton for me.
Nice, that's a good one.
Very good. Okay, Derek, go.
Do we have 3 honorables or 2?
No,
I only have 2.
Okay, okay, good. I got it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, my number 7. Let's get crafty. My number 7 is Gomez Adams.
Where does this come? Where did you come up with this?
Come on, it's great.
No, it's so random.
Here's why Gomez Adams is great. Because you name me another man that is more loyal to his wife than Gomez Adams.
That's true.
And for as weird and it's just absurd as that family is, you can tell that Gomez Adams deeply loves his family. And he loves every single member of his family. He takes family at the highest. He loves his kids. He's happy when he sees the extended, no matter how weird they are. Like Cousin It, come on, he loves Cousin It. That's great.
Yep.
And so you can learn a lot of great things from Gomez Adams because of just how loyal he truly is.
Great choice.
Yeah. All right.
You look just like Uncle Fester. I just realized that. Oh
yes,
my God.
I'm very aware. I've known that I'm a healthy.
We even use that on this show, Josh.
Shut up, Bob. Good
Well, we
God.
have.
We have.
Remember?
Jeez.
We did do that. That's true. I'm a tie
Okay,
between
what was
Uncle
your next
Fester.
one?
I'm a tie between Uncle Fester and George the Animal Steel. All
Yeah.
right, let's move on to my number 6. That's Bandit Healer from Bluey.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Do you know how many times I had to watch that show with
Oh,
my kids?
hello.
Yes, thank you.
Hello.
And
Come on.
Bandit Healer is a great dad.
He is.
I got to appreciate him.
He plays with those kids. He comes up with games for them.
You learn
It's awesome.
valuable lessons from him.
Oh yeah.
You do. So,
Yeah.
I never thought that a show like that would give me a dad that I truly just went, you know what? Shout out to you, Bandit.
It's
You're
an
great.
amazing show.
Yeah, it's very good, man. It's good. Yeah. Happy I got a chance to watch it. Those are my honorable mentions.
Okay.
All right.
All right, now we get to the root of the fruit. Josh, your list, please.
My list, all right, is number 5, Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
That's a good one.
Number 4 now, thanks to Bob, Tim Allen, Home Improvement. And then I'll go back.
Tim Taylor, you mean?
I mean, yeah, Tim Taylor, but Tim Allen.
At one point, the most popular dad.
Yeah.
On television.
Number 3, Mike Brady from the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Always liked him. Number 2, Danny Tanner from Full House. And number 1, which is probably both of you guys, Al Bundy.
He wasn't my number 1.
No? Bob was
not mine.
No?
No.
Okay, so just a few things about him, just real quick. Uncle Phil, I love the episode where, first of all, always, had Will Smith just, treated him like a son when he got hustled playing pool. And, he was like, oh, is that how you doing? He takes off the jacket, rolls up the sleeves.
Oh, no. You don't remember the line, do you?
What did he say?
Jeffrey, break out Lucille.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Break out Lucille.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Mike Brady was just a dad that you would want, does his work, comes home, spends time with the kids, but then goes back and does more work and really provided for his family. Really liked him. Tim the Toolman Taylor. Oh my God. I saw there was a clip the other day where a gorgeous woman comes to the door, and I guess, was it Jonathan Taylor Thomas had been, or no, was it him or Brad had been riding her, and she comes in and she's like, I came to see Tim or someone, and he's like, I'm right here, right in front of his wife, and she's like, get back. And he just did so many fun things. But when he needed to get serious with those boys, he got serious, I thought. And then, Danny Tanner, Bob Saget did a great job with that character. Here was a guy who was a widow who, loved to clean, but really treated his daughters with respect. And they treated, him back with respect. Really liked him. But, come on, Al Bundy. When you think of TV dads, come on. You grow up with Married with Children, the shoe man, comes up, sits on the couch, pretends he can't stand Peg, but loves her deeply. Won't leave her.
No.
Oh, God. He just was the funniest guy. Remember, I think he took Bud to a strip club, and he's like, watch this. And he gets up and starts dancing with the girl and puts $1 in, but it was attached to a string. And when she turned around, he pulled the string and the dollar goes right back to him. This was so good. He was good. I'm still waiting for a, what do you call it? Not a reboot, a reunion with that game. I really wish I'm shocked they haven't.
There is an animated show.
Yeah.
In the work, from my understanding.
Really?
That could be fun.
That could be
interesting. That could be interesting. But yeah, I really felt there was somebody else that I thought of that Bob and I have talked about. But anyway, these are my 5.
All right. That's a fair list.
Yeah.
Bob, to you, sir.
All right. My list.
Mhm.
Number 5, Carl Winslow.
Yeah.
Okay. So we were, yeah.
Mhm.
Number 4, Frank Barone.
Frank Barone. Who is Frank
Yes.
Barone?
Ray's father from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's right.
Okay.
I forgot all about it.
I did too.
Yeah, that was okay.
All right. Tim Taylor is my number 3,
All
Okay.
right.
Home Improvement. Danny Tanner, Full House, number 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 1 is Uncle Phil from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Okay.
I will point out that my number 1, had we done this list 6-7 years ago,
Yeah.
my number 1 would have been Cliff Huxtable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
That's
unfortunately,
Yeah.
recent event,
Yeah.
even though I can still watch the show, to do this list, I just couldn't put him on there.
No.
No.
So yeah. So just to kind of go over him, Carl Winslow, I thought he was a solid dad. It was obvious he really loved his family. He put up with the annoying neighbor, and at the same time, he had a close friendship with Steve as well. That would come through at times, even to the point where at the end of the show, Steve finally ends up marrying Laura, and so he becomes the Carl's son-in-law.
Hey, question.
So,
Real quick
yes.
question. Was that when Harriet was not married to him? Like, didn't they change it up and Harriet Winslow was like working for
No, they recasted.
They recast it. Okay.
Yeah, there was a contract dispute or something with the actress, so it was a different actress who played Harriet in the very last season.
Got it.
So, but honestly, she wasn't even that featured that much in that last season. A big portion of that season focused on Steve Urkel and Laura's relationship. And in reality, Steve became the primary character on the show. And that was a lot of the issues that were behind the scenes, because the show was originally a spinoff of Harriet's family from Perfect Strangers. So
that's true.
That's the way it was supposed to be. So anyway, number 4, I said Frank Barone. Guy's hilarious. He always acts like he's just annoyed with his wife. He's annoyed with everything. He's annoyed with his boys. But he is just absolutely hilarious, because at the end of the day, he does love his family. He will provide for his family, but just he's such a smart aleck in the way that he goes about it. That's how I hope that I am when I'm that age, as far as quick witted and whatnot. So Tim Taylor, number 3, again, a great dad. Just some of the things that he would say. He was oblivious to a lot of the things that would happen, because he was the typical man. Like, I remember this one episode where his wife, Jill, she was making a dinner because she had got the kids out of the house, and she was making a surprise dinner, and he stayed with his friends drinking some beers, and he calls home, and she's like, well, I'm making this, or she says, I'm playing some music, and I can't wait to see you. I'll be waiting for you, throwing these kids out there. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'll be home soon. Yeah, it'll be good to see you. Well, he comes home like 2.5, 3 hours later, something like that. Food's cold. She's just ticked off at him. And he was just completely oblivious to the hints. And that's what made it so good, is that it was very real. It was stuff that men can relate to. It followed the humor of Tim Allen, where he said that men and women shouldn't live together, but they do. And that's what Home Improvement was, is that they're very different personalities, but they make it work. And it was just a fun show. It's still to this day my favorite sitcom. Danny Tanner, I think I have him above Tim Allen, though, because I thought he was just a solid dad, always having some great advice. Every episode ended with like this speech by Danny or one of the characters, about life and
Yep.
just whatever was going on in that particular episode. You could always learn something from Full House, and Danny Tanner was one of those dads that taught us as an audience, and so we love Danny Tanner. And my number one, I said, was Uncle Phil. You talk about a great dad. He was a great dad to his own kids, very responsible in his job, as far as being a lawyer and then eventually a judge. He was pretty wealthy, so he tried to raise his kids very well, but he tried to get them to respect hard work and not actually just be so focused on the material. Hillary didn't take to that very well, but and Carlton not as much, but he was a good dad to them, and he even took in his nephew and helped raise him. The scene where Will's father shows up
that was heavy.
walks away
That was
and
heavy.
leaving him there, and you see Will just saying, "How come he doesn't want me?" And Uncle Phil just grabs him. That scene still brings chills. It brought a tear to my eye. I'm not ashamed to say that.
No,
that was a powerful scene. What a good dad Uncle Phil was. So for that reason, he's my number one. And just because I want to throw this out there, I know we weren't going to talk about this, but my favorite movie dad. I just want to say that Brian Mills from Taken. Liam Neeson played him. What he did to go get his daughter back, great character. So
people still quote it to this day.
That's right. What I have are a very specific set of skills.
Dude, that is Liam. The fact that character is not going to play Frank Drebin is just.
Did you see the new trailer?
No, I got to watch it.
Oh, so funny. Oh my
so
god.
Good. All right.
So that's my list.
All right. Okay, here we go. On with me. All right. Number 5 was number 5 is Walter White from Breaking Bad.
I had a feeling you would say that.
Yeah, absolutely I would. I'll get to him in a minute. Number 4, Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec.
Okay.
Okay, number 3. I can't believe I'm saying this, but this was I like this character a lot on this show. It's Burt Hummel from Glee. I'll get to the one-liners here in a minute.
Random with your
what? I was not. I said okay. Number 2 was Al Bundy. All right.
Okay, 2 was Al Bundy.
All right. Number 1 with a bullet, Dan Connor from Roseanne.
I almost put him on my list. Almost.
Yep. He is number 1 with a bullet for me. All right. Walter White. Say what you will about Walter White. Everything he does is for his family. No matter how cruel or ruthless or terrible it is, he made sure that money went to his family. Did he not?
Until he lost it all.
Well, okay. Yeah. I think he ended up getting it all back, though, didn't he?
I think he got some of it back. Well,
he got enough back.
No, he didn't get it back. He had a little bit left over, but he ended up getting even with the guys. So.
Oh, yes, that's right. He gave what he could to his family. I do remember that.
He left some. Yeah, that was a great scene too, where he leaves it with his friends.
The other scene that still gets me is when he confronts that woman that left him with her new husband in their very posh house, and he just goes like this, and then the lasers hit both of them. He goes, "Don't move." Oh, so good.
Yes,
it's great. Scene. Okay, so Ron Swanson, I feel like Ron Swanson is a man of Bob's heart. Ron Swanson has very little time for anybody's BS. He thinks that vegetarianism is like absolute blasphemy. He will never understand it. He just needs a great steak and a nice glass of whiskey, and he's good to go. He has very, very, very specific standards that he has to have followed in order for him to feel like he's got controls of the situation. His one-liners are pretty great. He just has to say like a couple of words, and you get his thought process immediately. He meets another Ron Swanson that is not. He meets another Ron Swanson that is from the town that he is the rival town, and it's Sam Elliott who plays the other Ron Swanson, who plays a freaking vegan, which is you only eat vegan from a dumpster. And immediately after the other Ron Swanson, Nick Offerman hears that, he goes, "I no longer like that Ron." It's perfect the way it's done. You have to go back and see it. Okay, Bert Hummel from Glee says a lot of stuff that I'm pretty sure I would say too. Where somebody walks in, "What are you doing?" "I'm making biscuits." "What does it look like I'm doing?" I'd probably get myself into something like that. He's randomly watching TV and he goes, "I hate Duke as much as I hate the Nazis." Like, just that's dad stuff. That's very, very excellent the way he comes off. When his son comes out to him, "Dad, I'm gay. I've known since you were 3. You asked for a pair of sensible heels when you were like 5. It's hilarious. And so that's just a good dad character, on that show. That's what I liked about him. Al Bundy, what else can you say about Al Bundy? One of the best scenes ever in Married with Children was when he beat up Kelly's boyfriend in the movie theater.
Yes.
And she tried to be all cool when she caught her boyfriend, basically cheating on her. And then she's just trying to be a mature adult. And then she walks back down and looks right over at Al Bundy and goes, "Dad, beat him up." He goes, "Of course, pumpkin." He didn't even think twice about it. Yes. He runs right up and just beats him up.
Punches him in the stomach and then
just thrashes him. That was the great thing about Al. He had no problem throwing down if he needed to.
He would not make a show like that now with Al Bundy the way he was.
No, but those were good times. Not to mention the fact that I had a very big crush on Christina Applegate back in those times.
Who didn't?
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh,
whew, good looking.
Wasn't that Saturday nights?
No, it was like Thursdays, I thought.
Yeah. Was it Thursday? Maybe reruns were Saturdays.
Well, I think what happened was they were on Thursdays, but then they moved to Sundays randomly, if I'm not mistaken.
Did they?
I feel like Sunday nights were big for them because that was like Sunday nights on Fox. It was Married with Children, and then you had In Living Color after that. It was like when they decided to just get raunchy. It was great. All right, so that's Al Bundy. And then Dan Connor. Dan Connor is the ultimate dad because he gives you everything. He gives you comedy. He gives you drama. He gives you great one-liners, both serious and funny. I could think of 5 great, like, powerful, dramatic scenes with Dan Connor, and I could equally think of another 5 that are, like, belly-laughing scenes that he just cracks you up. And
the heart attack.
The heart attack was heavy.
Heart attack, that was scary, yeah.
When Jackie's boyfriend beats her up.
Oh God, that was.
And then just that one moment where Dan just takes his jacket and he just walks out the door and he didn't say anything. Yeah. You knew exactly what he was going to do, and the audience reaction is priceless on that.
Hey, and of all the dads, he is the only one that died and came back to life.
That's true. He was resurrected.
Yeah. That is true.
Yeah, because remember, didn't they say that he didn't actually survive the heart attack?
Yeah, that was
like in the original show. I think he didn't survive the heart attack, and he ended up having an affair and leaving or something like that. But it turned out that was kind of Roseanne's way of, in her mind, just kind of trying to separate herself from losing him. And then it turned out, you find out that he really died. And then they do the revival of Roseanne.
Right.
And the opening scene is they're waking up and she's like, "Oh, I dreamed you were dead again," or something like that.
Yeah.
And he was just like, "No, I've just been sleeping." What is everybody always thinking I'm dead?
Was there a contract dispute? Is that why they had killed him off?
No, he lasted the whole way through.
Season.
Yeah, they
He
just
did. Okay.
the whole thing was that it ended up being kind of a dream.
Right.
Ended
Right.
up happening. Yeah. And it was too bad because Dan was just one of the funniest dads, and I guess that maybe why they did that was because they wanted to make you feel for him.
You know, and to point out about Dan, he also loses Roseanne. Granted, because of ABC fired her, but
Yeah.
you know, they end up. The story goes that he ends up losing her, and he still is the same dad to his kids and his family as they're living there with him, and he's still brother-in-law to Jackie and and everything. So because the Connors ran for like 7 seasons.
Yeah, they went a long time.
They did.
Yeah. Oh God, the scene when Dan is scarfing ice cream because he's on a diet, and he can't get out of it. And Roseanne catches him, and then not only does he like try to keep eating, but then he gets the brain freeze. It's one of the funniest. Like the way he sells that is so good. He's like just jumping up and down. So,
you know what some of the most fun episodes were on Roseanne? The Halloween episodes.
The Halloween episodes are great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they were always trying to prank each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Dan, when he split out the ketchup packet and made it look like he was like bleeding everywhere.
Yeah.
And then he holds up the packet and he goes, the master. And he just walks out the door.
I think I remember one episode where he was pretending he got his hand caught in the garbage disposal.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. It's the fake hand.
And then he whenever he had the heart to hearts with DJ, those were great. Dad, why did Mom and Aunt Jackie yell at you like that? Well, because they're mad at me, DJ. Well, why? Because I'm a man. Well, I thought it was good to be a man. Oh no, son, not since the late '60s.
It's so funny, especially when you're married hearing that. Oh my God.
That's just John Goodman at his best. I love it. It's so good. I know I'm a
Great
John
character.
Goodman.
A great list.
He's
All
one
great.
of my favorites. All right. We've run the gauntlet, gents. I think that is the episode for the evening. Let's do social media. Bob, go ahead. Hit us.
You can find me on my YouTube channel at Bob Loves Movies. You can find me on X and on Criticless. I should have a review of How to Train Your Dragon out hopefully Friday, as I am going to watch it tomorrow.
Very good. Josh, go ahead.
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok.
Very good. I was just reminded this evening of a birthday that I have coming up, and I'm not going to tell everybody my age, but man, do I feel old, which is why you can still find me at LinkedIn and Facebook.
Nice.
Where all the other old people are. All right. That's it, guys. I think we've accomplished much here. So with that, let's go ahead and sign off. Thank you, folks. Appreciate it.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Good night.